Hello guys, welcome to another trade recap. Today we got trades on NQ and on ES, longs and shorts. So I'm gonna explain why I took those trades and I was pretty much what I was looking in the morning. So let me just go over here to the chart over here, which is pretty much gonna be explaining what I was looking in the morning. So in the morning, I was pretty much looking again to a little bit of on NQ a little bit. So I was being mindful about this range, and I was mindful that we were at the bottom of the range. So that was one thing. And longs did not look bad for me at open, and that's because I was trying. Well, I did play that. Um, the pullback back to overnight. So as we can see on ES, the last time that we pulled to overnight was pretty much a 2 a.m. in the morning, like on this candle over here. Now, if we go back to NQ, this thing was up, I think, about the same time. Yeah, like 3 a.m. in the morning. So we're pretty much a long time ago. So we have seen already before that we can play these double picks to target overnight, right? Not exactly probably to target the opening range high because we know the trend is lower, but at least we can target the opening range high, sorry, the overnight peak up. And that's was my play today in the morning. I did got into the longs on the I pretty much played the Lucid accounts today. The reason for that it was because I prefer to take the trade on the funded when I am in align with the trend that I'm looking. And for me today, the trend was lower. So for this is gonna be like a counter trend trade back to overnight. So I just prefer to take these type of trades on different accounts. That's just me, you know. So I took this trade over here on one of the Lucids, and the one I think this one was the far from payout one, which I think it's already on drawdown. That account it's like kind of I think now it's not that bad. I think um it's 1K in drawdown now, like around that, so it shouldn't be that bad, or like 1200ish. Um, but we're gonna get it back. I'm not too worried about it. So took the long over here, and then I was starting pretty much the overnight BWAP over here. We had the first break, the initial break over here on the opening range low, push higher immediately to close above. This could have been an ad over here on the account, you know, but I ended up just closing the trade over here at the pretty much overnight in value area low. I could have held that a little bit longer because we had stacked levels still above. We had previous days and we had opening range high. But the mistake that I did today, I was just like not playing games. So just gonna take my profits and run. And I was already waiting for the next trade idea that I was looking for, which was for the shorts. Now the trade that I took for the shorts was on NQ initially. So let me just go back to NQ. So this was NQ. As we can see, pretty much NQ did kind of pull back to overnight, you know. And I was looking for that play lower because BWAPs were clearly aligned for lower. You know, we're trending lower, you know, well, even if we go back to the range over here, I was aware that we were at the bottom of the range, and my idea was, okay, we're gonna break it or we're gonna hold it, you know. And when pretty much when I saw that we were pretty much not even going anywhere, bro, we push higher. Now we're chopping in here. We're kind of holding like belly area low, previous days low over here, kind of like as a support, you know. And we're just pretty much like chopping in this range, and I'm just thinking, bro, like we're not even like pushing higher, you know. I think I can find a short over here on one of my combines, and this is it. Well, I only have one combine now, which is the one that I have remaining. I took this trade on NQ on the combine because I usually don't trade NQ on my funded. It's kind of hard for me to manage the risk on this type of environment so volatile on NQ. You know, so I just prefer to take these trades on combines when I'm trading NQ, in my opinion. So since this was the last, this is the last combine that I have, because I'm not buying any more this month because I want to focus on the funded. So took the straight on the combine, got out of it here, pretty nice exit. Um, I exited here because ES of the Sun was pushing into the BWAPs, and I was like, I think we can if we bounce over here, it's gonna probably push higher, and I don't want to be on pretty much on this stuck on this trade, you know, because if we put attention, bro, like we're just pretty much ranging at this point. We're still inside the open range on NQ. still, in the VWAPs already pushed in into the opening range, but I mean, we're just pretty much ranging in this price. And I'm not looking for a new low over here. I just wanted to get a quick move out. So once we started pushing to New York over here, I pretty much took the trade out over here. And I think they did like 200 bucks on that. So I think it was like 250, I think, something like that. So it wasn't that heavy. I was just risking 500. And then I had my stop above over here, but then as price started moving lower, I started pushing my stop around here. Even I think I even moved my stop around here at this point when we pretty much got to this low again. And I just pretty much ended up taking the trade over here. And that was the trade on NQ. Um, so yeah, really happy with this trade. The action looks really good, but I was just pretty much playing time. It was the end of the 15 minute, and also I was watching ES. They were pretty much pulling back to New York. And I did took in consideration that despite the fact that I was looking for shorts, because I mean, look at ES, bro. Like the divergence is just amazing. Like pretty much we're trading above opening range high on ES, and NQ can even push higher. So I just prefer to say I just wanted to be scalpy, because I'm aware of that, and I wasn't aware of that yesterday, and I was just like tunnel vision on the PNL. So today I was more aware of what price actually was doing. So that's one of the reasons why I actually took the profits over here. Now, the third trade that I took today was also one of the lucid fundeds, and it was a short. So I was looking pretty much at this on ES and NQ. I was pretty much using both today because I was looking for NQ to pretty much take this low over here, the low of day. And I was seeing that pretty much NQ was just pretty much bearish, bro. And I was kind of like looking at scenarios from last week and this week too, that pretty much NQ has been like really bearish, bro. Like ES, like if we go to a higher time frame, like we can see the clear divergence, bro, on NQ and ES. So I was just being aware that NQ it's been really, really weak. So I was watching that, and when I saw this candle close on New York, I took a short on one of the lucids. Then I was initially targeting this swing low. Let me just get my brush. So I was targeting this low and this low over here. Let me just go back. Yeah, well, let me just explain over here, and then I will just jump to NQ again. So I was initially targeting these levels over here. And again, uh, I did not want it to be pretty much stuck on the range because, again, we formed this range over here, you know. Opa, hold on. Brush. So we formed this range over here. Pretty much we're training inside this range, you know. So I was like, I was just gonna take my quick profits. I was able to add another contract over here. I did the ad. I think the ad was like around here though, like here. So I did the ad over here, and I pretty much ended up closing after like 7 points in profit, because I was watching in Q over here, and in Q was already pretty much opening range low. So we know that pretty much I was not expecting the dump, already. But I just took this small scalp short on one of the other lucids. So pretty much all my lucids are small green today, and then my one of my comments is also green. Pretty much I did not take a trade on the Ignatz Neon top sip today. And that's one of the things I wanted to mention today. Oh, one more thing. I was planning to take this trade. I did not took the trade because it was already kind of like late. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna take the trade. I'm just gonna watch it and see how it plays out because we were already like pretty much playing this range, and also in Q was pretty much consolidating over here. And I am more about the idea of I want to preserve my mental capital, and I don't want to be mentally drained by the market anymore. So I'm just kind of like when I guess 12 p.m. passed, I'm already like kind of selective and just being aware. Okay, if I take a trade right now, maybe there's a high probability I'm gonna be in this trade for a long time because the time it is. So I'm just I think it twice before I take a trade at this time. So I actually did use an extra confirmation on on this thing over here. Let me just get my fair value gaps right here. So I used the fair value gaps in NQ pretty much. I was seeing like NQ was really close to the low of day that we did form in the morning. and I was watching NQ to take this low over here. So that's why my exit was over here. I did not took this trade. This was just a markup that I was watching live. That was just simulating in my head a trade over here. So pretty much I took the trade on near BWAP because it both this like I'm not taking like this entry, wait a little bit longer when low be when below. Lower below. When lower, and also I was watching this 5 minute that was formed here. So as soon as we inverse that, I was like, okay, bet. Now I'm feel more confident taking a short. So pretty much I like simulated the entry on this pullback on this candle over here. Even can be here. It doesn't really matter. I think just like 2 points. Yeah, pretty much 2 points of difference. But let's I marked it over here on this candle, and I was pretty much looking for opening range high, opening range. This is actually opening range low. Hold on, here we go. Opening range low. Um, so this was the main idea of the trade, and also because NQ was um pretty much really weak and really close to lows. I was like, okay, I'm gonna probably exit the trade when NQ takes these lows. And pretty much that's what I when I pulled the trade out, but it was on this kind of here, like, okay, we're close enough. I'm just gonna exit over here. And pretty much that's the markup for this idea. We have the BWAP self protection over here. That's why I was not really looking for a stop like this, you know, because we have the BWAPs over here, and if we pretty much push past all the BWAPs, for me, we're gonna probably just chop more, or we're just gonna push higher. So that was my thought process behind my stop loss on this markup, and ended up playing up, you know. So thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm being, except for yesterday, I think I'm just been. It's been weird because I've been like since my lecture club call, I've been taking more trades on my fundeds, and I feel pretty good, bro. Like I have, I think I have been reading the market really good. I'm being patient of what I wanted to see. I have an overall really good idea of what price might do or where it wants to go, what to wait, or when to wait, and just wait for my setups. And it's been working really good. Now the next step is just like sometimes I get too much in my head, like thinking, what if I'm wrong? Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I think I need to have more confidence in my reads and more confidence in my trading, because I've been now using more and more stuff that I kind of like neglected in a sense. So when I started to trade BWAP, I kind of like left the ICT stuff on the side, and I was not really paying that much attention to that. And when I mean ICT, I pretty much only talk about fair value gaps, bro. That's the only thing I'm referring with ICT, bro. Like I don't use, and I never use like I tried at least for a time, which is like order block, record block, that shit. I mostly only use Verbalikas right now. And this week and last week, I had like really good reads on the market. And I've been just being incorporating my ideas with the fair value gaps and just waiting for that extra confirmation. Sometimes if I wanna jump in, I was like, okay, wait, like I have this gap over here. Let me probably just wait a little bit longer. Or we're closing under, that's a good sign, or we're closing above, that's a good sign. So I'm being just kind of like mixing both, and I think it had helped me a lot since last week, especially just navigating the markets. Again, I don't really take entries at fair value gaps anymore. I only use BBOP as my entries, as you can see over here. I think this markup over here, I know the trade was kind of far from BBOP, but I mean, the main idea was that pretty much we're pushing lower BWAPs are aligned for the shorts. So I'm just using the fair value gaps as an extra confluence for my trading, and I was kind of like neglecting that for a bit. And now that I'm kind of like using them, and it was kind of like by accident, but I was just reading, like having the fair value gaps open, and I was just watching the charts and QNES, and I was able to like find a rhythm between BWAPs and fair value gaps in a sense. So that's what has been helping me, I think. And also I think I just need to trust myself a little bit more, because yeah, I'm taking these trades, bro, but I'm just like taking these trades with, I don't want to say like, I mean, I'm trusting myself because I'm taking the trade, but I think I'm just like not really pushing it in the way that I want it to be pushed, meaning that, for example, like the contract size, I think I'm going too small on this Lucid. I mean, I guess one Lucid only has one of the Lucids only has like 800 on drawdown. With I guess that we can take like slow on that account, whatever. On the other account though, I think I'm just like 200 on drawdown, bro. So it's a really good like, it's not like a bad spot to start again on that funded. So I think I'm on a good spot right there, and yeah, I think I just need to trust myself more, and yeah, like just see my idea through and just push a little bit further. I mean, I'm making the ads that I wanted to add on. We discussed the ads that I'm currently doing on my hot seat. And I'm actually pretty much like doing that what I was saying on the hot seat, But I think I just need to push a little bit more, especially now that I think I'm seeing the market good and I'm able to pinpoint from shorts to longs. Like for example, for today, you know, um, and yeah, I think I just like sometimes I get too locked in the idea that I might be wrong, or what if I'm wrong, or what if this does not end up play out, which really doesn't make sense because I mean at the end of the day, like I know BWAP, I know trading is just pretty much like probabilities in a sense. Not in a sense, actually, it is probabilities. Like you're gonna be wrong, Like if you're wrong, it doesn't mean that your idea or your trade or your like setup doesn't work. It's just like that time, it was one of the probability that it was gonna lose. Like if you have like a 60% win rate, if you take 10 trades, you have a probability that four of them are gonna be losers. And it just it's not that you are like fully wrong in a sense. You're just trading the strategy. So yeah, I think I just like need to drill that in my head a little bit longer and be more consistent, reminding myself, okay, I'm taking this idea. I might be wrong, but also I might be right. The probabilities are I'm waiting for the high probability setup, meaning like I'm waiting for price to get above or below BWAP. I'm not entering pretty much like far from BWAP. I'm entering at BWAP once we close above or below BWAP. I have the BWAPs aligned with my idea too. Trend makes sense in the trade that I'm taking right now. So pretty much like just like adding that extra confluences makes the trade high probability in a sense. So I think I just need to push it a little bit further and obviously not like jump ahead of myself and just start like swinging like fucking 7 micros, bro, whatever, in every idea that I see. Obviously, I'm being like kind of selective with the trades that I'm taking. It. I think you guys can see it like if you go back, so I'm being more proactive in the trades that I'm taking because last week I was just taking one trade and that's pretty much it. And now I'm looking for more opportunities in the market because I'm noticing that I'm kind of like reading well the market. So I'm taking advantage of that, and also I'm calling myself out here because last time that I was reading the market really good, I was not really taking advantage of that in a sense because on May was like really easy, and I was just like swinging like really low contract size, you know. So now that I'm reading the market good, and I know conditions are probably not like the best that we ever had, but I'm able to read it good, and I think I can make shit happen. And that's something I didn't notice when pretty much when I finished the last markup over here in ES, I was like, damn, bro, like I think I'm really good. I'm reading the market like really good. Um, despite the dumb thing that I did yesterday, but I think I'm doing a good job reading the market. And I think I'm able to see it in a sense. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that shit out and make it resonate in my head that I can actually make this shit happen. Sometimes it's just my lack of confidence, bro. I think sometimes it's just being the main issue of my trading. It's just the lack of confidence in my ideas and myself in a sense. So yeah, guys, I think I just went into a rant. Sorry for that, but it just helps me, get the ideas flowing in my head. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys made money today, and I hope you guys learned something from the market, or you guys learned something from my explanation and my ideas, or even my markups. And yeah, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, and see you guys tomorrow, last day of the week. Take care.